To 14, high tomorrow of around 27. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of February. Get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together. And let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There it is, coming in with a little Ed Lover on a Wednesday. You know, definitely old school. This is about the time, about 4 o'clock, I used to get home strict from school, turn on MTV.
Oh, yeah,
raps.
MTV raps.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ed Lover being there buzzing.
But see, you was bougie, though. See, you had the pretty remotes.
No,
you know, see, I had the old, like, it was like the old, it looked like this little phone over here,
right,
where you had to push number 33. Number 66,
right?
Number 10. I had the little box. You had the bougie, but yeah, you was the first one. Yes, you was.
My dad had the hookup. We were sharing cable. We was a community cable family over there. We found a way to get in there and hook.
You had the party line too?
No, we didn't have no phone. I didn't have no phone. We were stealing cable, strict. Dang, I ain't want to say it, but since you up there acting like you got amnesia, we were stealing cable, so I had it all up in there. You know what I'm saying? And then they, you know, the guy would come and
turn it off, and you send the guy back out.
My dad go right out there the next day. We figure it out. But Old School brought to you by the Mercado, certified Piedmontese, special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. We are here, Old School with Strick. Got a special guest potentially coming in to drop the stuff that we were talking about yesterday, but we ended the crossover with a little bit of NFL coaching talk. I just think sometimes you don't need to break up a good partnership. I think the Patriots have shown you don't need to. There's times that you think Josh McDaniel, even though he had been a head coach before, he went back with Belichick, actually he accepted the Indianapolis Colts job, turned it down, it seemed like 48 hours later, pull a la mini Belichick, what he did with the Jets going to the Patriots. Now he's at the Raiders. So I think, sometimes you look, these coaches that are successful, like Eric Bieniemy, so forth and so on, are pretty successful. They'll be in it for the long haul. The thing I like about him as an assistant coach, he has crossover appeal to where he'll continue to be successful in the NFL. I think teams will start to still ring his phone for college jobs because of the success he's had in integrating young players in the NFL, like younger guys in their tenure, and rookies, and having them be successful. So that lets you know he can connect with younger players. And so the way I envision it, Deion's going to have success out in Colorado. I know a lot of Nebraska people are worried about Deion. I don't know why. You guys didn't want him anyways. We can get into that. He's probably a little bit too
flamboyant, probably.
But he's probably too flamboyant.
Too flamboyant. But the way he recruits,
Deion's brother meter is way like an overdrive for them.
Yeah,
for people in the and that's just part of the deal. I think Deion will knock it out of the park eventually, and he'll move on.
He'll probably be in the NFL,
or he'll go I think he could be back in Florida State. Eventually. I think he has a bigger plan. I think he'll do well at Colorado, and then I think they'll try to get Eric Bieniemy again.
Where can you see Eric Bieniemy in college? Like what type of school?
I would say Colorado.
Like a Colorado
type? I think it's a Colorado. He has, but does he want? It's hard for a coach like that that's been in the NFL, kind of in that vortex, go to recruiting and dealing with that. And, I don't know if he really. That takes a lot. That takes a different type of energy.
That's why Tyronn Lue ain't came back. I think.
Right.
Let's be real.
It is different.
Let's be real.
It is different, and you have to open yourself up. You can't insulate yourself, kind of like Tyronn's done at times. You know what I mean? We've talked off air about that. You're going to have to see a lot of people that you kind of, in his case, you dipped around. A lot of teammates you didn't dipped around, when you kind of, you hear Eric Strickland coming down the hallway, and then you automatic moonwalk into the bathroom and sit in there for 30 minutes. Come out and the Strick is gone. You're going to have to see Stricky. I mean, that's it. That's just keeping it real.
It's real, though. That is real.
That is real. So you got to think.
Yeah.
When the Bernards, the Stricks, and all those guys are here, you got to have to come see them. And so I think it's just different for guys. But I think Eric Bieniemy, eventually he'll break through. And hopefully he doesn't. The thing that I don't want him to do or wouldn't want for him is to desperately take a head coaching job for the sense of being a head coach.
Yeah, you can get drowned on that.
You can get drowned. Yeah. But I guess if you're like down in Houston, Texans, where they just giving you so much money, like Coley and Lovie Smith, they're giving away the money. You got to take it.
Facts.
But if they try to underpay you,
like go to Cleveland
or something like that, where they're going to get funny after they let you go after a year with your money, I'm sure hopefully Kansas City will take care of them. I think the relationship between him, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the whole coaching staff is good. I envision and hope that they stay together.
Well, listen, man, I do feel the same way, but I would love to hear your perspective on what you saw last night out of the Huskers,
right?
Because we may have a guest. I mean, we're still kind of holding on. I'm laced up with my old stuff because I felt really good about what they brought to the table going out to Piscataway.
I think this was a huge victory that will pay dividends, in my opinion, or should, long past this season.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things that's really I can't talk about Matt Rule's tenure, but I think prior is dealing with success when you haven't had haven't had any recent tangible success.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you double down on that? So you see Nebraska have a big victory at home, which they've done, usually played well at home. Then you'll have the naysayers, you play good at home, and the crowd, you still playing good. You know what I'm saying? You just don't get the, turn the play good on light switch. And then they were able to double down on it, go on the road on a sleepy Tuesday in a place that's hard to play. Not an exciting trip, not a lot of fanfare going with you. So you really in the kind of the Terror Dome, and right from the get-go, it was just poured over from that overtime or the second half of the last game and overtime to a true butt kicking, and they had it the whole time. I like the depth of scoring. I like the number of guys that played. I think it was 8. Everybody contributed.
Yeah.
Blaze, Keita struggled a little bit, but his presence was good. But I think everybody that played was rolling. I was happy for CJ, happy for Sam Hoiberg. I'm really happy for CJ because he's been struggling.
Pause.
Yeah.
That situation right there alone, that tells me that Fred Hoiberg is getting it.
Yeah.
Because as much as CJ has struggled, it is tough to go and throw that out there unless
put it back out there.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
that's difficult.
You know what? It's not even an X and O's thing. It's not even a play calling thing.
No.
You know what this is? He's in. I mean, if I'm a player on the bench or a starter, and I've seen that CJ's been up and down, just by, CJ has the things to be a good scorer or a better shooter, or things just haven't going well. And that's just the way it happens. It could be just like in baseball. You just have an off
slump.
Year. Yeah. Slump or just not consistent. Let's just, like that. And to see how he's handled that with him, and that lets you know he's in, I call it as one with CJ, where he's delivering hard messages to him, but CJ knows that he's given me enough chance and this is warranted, but I'm not on the milk carton.
Come on.
Right. He's not on the milk carton. So at practice, even though when he's not starting, he's still coaching them. He's still developing them. Players they watch that. I talk about the sense of
that is
they watch it. And then so when CJ when he got his chance, guess what?
Made the most of it.
The most of it. And I guarantee you know who was most proud of him was Fred.
Facts.
Right. And the team was around him. And so that's huge.
Yeah.
And I'll say it, I don't know, you call me a prophet or whatever. Somebody on here said it yesterday. CJ gonna have a good game, and you know who that was, your boy right here.
Yeah.
I just felt it just because he was doing the right things though. There was a couple games where you hit a three, go to the bucket, and it would just rim out. I know those are confidence boosters, and you know it. You want to see the ball go through the hoop. It's been good, man. You know, look, man, you got some people is like, oh, well, Fred's never had. Well, he's got 12 victories now, 11, and all of a sudden you want to, you know, I think there's sometimes around here.
It's always a moving of the goalposts.
Moving of the goalposts, and it's great to get on the like on the internet or whatever, social media, or when the people are on the microphone and dummy down the success that they had this year. You know, and really focus on, say, like last year. Well, I'm a big believer at this is from only thing that I've read or what Trev said, and, you know, I guess what him and I don't know if him and Fred had a press conference like Scott and Trev did, but he presented a plan to Trev. That's what I was kind of took away from it. He executed that plan, right? Lost the coach in Armand Gates, brought in another really good coach, changed the identity of the program. Facts. And recruited to that identity overnight. Then got everybody to buy into it in a high pressure situation, meaning all my jobs on the line, everybody's jobs on the line, including the players. You know, we don't do well, we're gonna be looking for other places. So everybody seemed to buy in like that. So that's leadership right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then that's also tangible goal setting and being in it to win it with them. And then now you see that what he said he's going to do and get tougher guys, get more team-oriented guys, get guys that are going to play together and represent Nebraska and play a different type of basketball. And this is all the while that he has every excuse to go get up there in front of the press and say, look, lost my starting point guard. That's probably one of the best on-the-ball defenders, maybe in NCAA, but just a great on-the-ball defender. Right. And we lost our guy that was our junkyard dog, our energy guy that we didn't have to run any plays for, that opened up everything for everybody else. And like back-to-back weeks.
Physicality. He brought physicality.
He brought everything. He brought energy, physicality. He started to shoot the ball well. And he brought identity and leadership. You could have just tapped out. But this team is not. The first game after it, they were reeling a little bit. But then they found, you know what he's doing? He's finding another way. Going into the closet, getting guys to play in roles. Yeah. And this is what you're seeing. Going out there to New Jersey.
Bruh, listen, Purdue went out there and took an L.
Well, remember when we were talking about Nebraska playing Ohio State?
Yep.
And what did I say? I just watched them play Rutgers. And I said, they're going to be worn out because that's a physical team and they beat you up. And then they just kind of, I don't know who it would be when you were in college, but it's just rough. The places out there look like the water don't taste right. The lighting ain't good. You right? They got that big old.
Yeah, you know, it's like Okie State,
right? That's what I was just thinking. I want to answer for you, but it's like it's out there, and it's not fun to play there. And then they I wouldn't say they play dirty. They play different, but
Jay, you own something because we talked about that. You own something because the first 10 minutes of that I'm gonna say the first 6 minutes of that game. Every time they cut, if you was really watching, it was hitting them with shoulders and hitting them with bows.
Right. We talked about that. You just gotta welcome it. You gotta welcome it. Right. And they're testing you. And so that's also something that this team had struggled with in years past. So that also lets me know the identity is serious right there. The identity is for real. So where you think of Fred recalibrated, he went and the things that Sam Griesel has been able to do from being kind of
he's a tweener. He's a tweener.
Right. He's a tweener, but he's a double threat, triple threat at times, because where he'll get 12 points, 10, 11 boards sometimes, just like last night, and then he'll have 5 assists. That's playing some basketball.
What helped him, Jay? St. John's game.
Right.
This was like you take the test and just say you take the SAT and you fail. Right. And you got to come back. Yeah. And you're going to, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff.
It is. It's the same stuff, just different characters.
Just different characters.
And it's memory right there. So that lets you know they're still locked in and they're taking it and they've grown from it. So right now it's an exciting time because.
And he hit some big buckets, bro. They hit some big buckets when you could have failed to the run.
You gotta have your Sam Cassell on.
Yeah.
You gotta have some big. Yeah, you gotta roll around with some big cojones.
Yeah.
When I talk to my high school kids, you gotta walk around with that BDE. When you letting them in, them things, hey, you gotta hit the ground. I'm here.
Yeah.
Because what else you got to lose? But I think as that game going on, Rutgers was like, we in a dogfight.
And you get tight. See, that's what you do against the home team. If you can just withstand
that first tidal wave.
Yeah. Like the Mike Tyson.
Right.
Remember how Tyson used to come out first 3 rounds? Yeah. If you can just hold on, you get him late, you might get him.
Right.
But with a team like that, when they made that last run they made on him, them shots got different. Like a couple guys hit some, but them shots as that clock got down to 3 minutes, 2 minutes, them shots got a little bit different.
But here also, let's not forget, going into halftime against Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Could have been thought of dead in the water. There's something internally to go out there in front of a crowd against a rival to man up and buck up and then not only get the game close, which is okay, that's the moral victory, get the game tied, go to overtime, and then put it in overdrive.
And beat the brakes off.
Beat the brakes off him in overtime.
Yeah.
And don't think that confidence, well, I can't speak for him. I'm just going to assume that confidence that they got from that boiled over into what you saw last night, because the same thing. They got back and got close against Rutgers. They said bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
They hit that Hellcat. It's like driving that Hellcat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hit that Hellcat, and the Hellcat and that it drops on you and
out
gone.
of here. Mm-hmm.
And that's what you saw. You saw that overdrive. They need to call that the Hellcat Huskers. That's it. We trademarking it.
Trademarking it.
Hellcat
DP, you hear it? Hellcat Huskers.
Hey, once we even, we leaving. You know what I'm saying? Good first segment. Jay Foreman, East Strick, old school Hellcat Huskers in the house. Give them love. You know what else I'm saying? I heard you guys talking about Saturday's game. That's a national holiday, man. That's a national holiday that needs to be extended to Tuesday. Monday's President's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, after that, you're going to celebrate Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That's a national holiday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be an extension on that.
Extension.
Yeah, man, some bull junk. We getting cheated, man.
Yeah, man. Don't be talking about no 8,000 people. We need 10.
Yeah.
I need to be watching, from out of town, man. Celebrate my birthday. I gotta see 10,000 people in there.
Yeah, I love it.
I want to see somebody just that Clark come
get on her.
Come on down the hole. Just send them.
Yeah, with an elbow, elbow tap.
Yeah, a little elbow grease, little Bill Lambier, little side booty bump, little Rick Mahorn.
Just a little twerk something.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry you there, man. You need your help. Did go there to help your hand, help bro?
No, for real, man. You can't let it not get comfortable, but I know we gotta get out.
All right, man. We're gonna go to a break here. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Max 10 for men. Bye-bye golfer lines and t-shirt 10s. Take it to the max at Max 10. Get a 30-day pass, just $25. With stand-ups and laydowns for men of stature. Be a Max 10 man. Get 30 days for just $25 now at all 4 Lincoln Max 10 locations.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, and it is not on the block. It is Old School, but the crew is in the building, and we're in here only because we've got some Huskers in the building. Tell us who you guys are so that the listeners know. I don't want to tell it. Y'all introduce yourself to the crew.
And I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Who are you, young man?
My name is Sam Hoiberg. I am the coach's son, people like to call me, but I'm trying to make my own name for myself now.
And that is something that we've noticed about you. So tell us, Jeff, how are you feeling now since you've come on campus, you've gotten here? It's never easy to be able to watch your comrades get after it, but what are you able to learn, going out and practicing? What are you learning about this team particular? Because you've come when they've made some adjustments and some changes to the culture, and now it's a different culture. How do you feel about, the prospects of what's to come for you?
I feel great. We just got to take it day by day, not getting too high or too low on ourselves, and honestly just believing in one another because we are a great, capable team that can make a very far run. And I feel like a lot of people doubt us still to this day. And I feel like since we're the underdogs, we get to really have no pressure at all and just enjoy the moment with each other and just have fun and go play basketball.
What would you say is your archetyping? What is your skill set? What do you do well? If there's one thing or two things that when you hit the court, everybody wants to say that they're a well-rounded player and all this stuff. No, when I played, I was defense and I got after you that way. What are some of the things that you would say is your archetyping?
Well, I would say definitely being an energy provider on the bench. Just making sure my teammates are know I'm there with them, even though I can't be on the court with them physically, but just making sure they hear my voice and know where to go and stuff like that. Just making sure I'm loud, being active in the game, and just making sure my teammates know I'm ready to go to battle if my name is called or not. I'm ready, just there for them at all times. Basically, just like in practice, just making them better.
That's
Honestly,
what's up.
Just pushing them to be their best, to make this team go far in the position that we needed to go, and just like making sure like they are used to things that they don't get in the game, just making sure like they adapt and like grow from what they see in the game to what they see in practice.
Amen to that. Sam, you, man, coming into the season, obviously, you know, there wasn't high expectation for you, you know, just to kind of come in, learn, grow. It looks as if you got in the weight room and you got stronger and you got more physical. You prepared yourself. You continue to work hard on and off, you know, time, I'm sure, coming in, getting extra time. What is it like for you? You know, just not knowing the situation and circumstances and the preparation that you put into it for now the opportunity presents itself to make you ready. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been really preparing since day one. I mean, ever since I got here, I came in, I really started working out a lot the summer I got here. I didn't do it a lot in high school because I think it was just a combination of I was one of the best players already growing up, and I didn't feel that I had to work that hard to do well. And I didn't have that same love for the game that I have now. I really got that once I got to college, and that's when I really started working hard. And then I saw myself do well in practice against these Big Ten players. That's where I really got the confidence I could play at this level. And then this season, just stayed working very hard in the weight room, on the court, getting shots every single day, working every aspect of my game, finishing, passing, just being smart, and especially defense. That's one thing I've really turned to help get myself minutes now, is just be one of the stoppers on the team so I can put myself on the court in crunch time and help, even if I'm not getting shots up. So, and I think that, yeah, just working really hard has helped me just get to the point where I'm just comfortable on the court now, and I can just provide energy and anything that I can do to help when I'm on the court.
That's some unsung stuff because the last two games, you kind of found yourself in a defensive matchup in a crucial time with shots that could have made the difference between a win and a loss. And your challenge on both of them, one a block and one just a hard challenge where that shot had no chance of going in. You know, that's some unsung stuff that only basketball real, you know, connoisseurs would know. But check this out. Do you when one of the things that's hard for someone, you know, that's just kind of getting this new found credibility on the court and getting confidence, it's I would venture to say it's harder to get confidence because I know how hard my dad was on me, but even having a dad as a coach, how it is to gain his confidence. But a couple of games back, you took a shot and you had a good look, and it was like the door was open and it was a air ball, like clear air ball. But then you had no memory recall, and I want to say it was probably 2 or 3 times back down. You ended up on a fast break on the wing, and you just no hesitation, stop and pop. Like where in your mindset do you feel that you've gleaned that kind of confidence coming in, you know, to those type of games? That's a big time game against a rival.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes back to the work that I put in. I know that because of the work I put in, that my shot is at a point where I think I can compete the same, or my jump shot is almost at the same level as guys like Casey and CJ, and I have that full confidence in myself. So, and that first shot, it slipped out of my hand really. Like I kind of just threw it up there, and I knew it was long when I shot it. And the next one, I knew that wasn't really how I shoot it, and I was going to be confident if I had another opportunity. So took that, hit it, and I wasn't surprised at all. That wasn't something that felt like it was something that I got lucky with. I know that I can hit that shot day in, day out because of the work I put in. So that's really where I get that from.
Got you. So to both of you, some big wins. You know, you guys could have mailed it in at any point in time. When you lose your leadership, you lose some of the better defenders on your team, some of the heart of your team in Gary, and some of the physicality and the things that he brought, and you lose a lot of that. Then Keita's hurt, so you guys are really having to jumble and mix and match and throw it out there. Big win. How do you keep yourself from letting down, coming now back at home, not getting comfortable, and still keeping that fire and that energy to because you're basically the opportunity's there for you. how do you keep yourself from having letdowns?
Yeah, I think that we really just it kind of took a few games for this new group to gel, kind of. I mean, because I'd been only doing scout team reps. I hadn't got any reps with the main team, so I didn't know the offense very well to that point, and it took a few games for me to really get used to it. And then other guys like Jamar having to step up into a bigger role. Now he's doing really well, and we expected that of him, but he got pushed into it pretty fast. So I think just letting the younger guys like me get comfortable in that situation has really helped us. And the offense is it's just transformed. I think one thing you can give credit to is our coaches. I think my dad's done a really, really good job of he's adapting to what the defenses are giving us. And we'll run actions on our own and we'll turn those like just within the offense. He'll look at those and we'll turn them to actual plays that we'll have really good success with. Like against Rutgers, we ran basically gave Casey the option to come off of 2 screens off of either side, and like that turned into a play for us where he got a wide open look at the end of the game and got a huge three for us. So just like the offense is coming together. The coaches are doing a really good job putting us in sets that are going to get open looks, and then we're just kind of taking off from that, hitting those shots.
Based on the prospects for next year and what you guys have coming in, and again, I'm not getting ahead of it because I still think you guys got a lot of basketball left in you. But, what are some of the things you feel you're going to work on the off season based on what you have coming back? And what do you think you need to do to kind of get yourself ready? Because now it looks like, if you guys are able to hold some of these pieces together and some of the guys are able to come in and build the culture that you want to see, what do you think you want it to look like for you?
I would say just having the mindset each and every day, just like watching the people in front of you and just like understanding the offense in general, and just like being transparent with the coaches, like if you need help, because they're like professors, kind of like if you need them, they're there for you. But if you don't use them properly, you're not going to get the help you need. So just like using them as resources and just like providing you in the way to be successful in life. And also just like growing a bond with our teammates like we did this summer. I feel like hanging out here and there like each and every day like really helped us collaborate a lot, and like that's how you see us gel so well, because we committed to that process of coming together as one and not just like having like all egos aside, just like being together as one. And we really took that accountability and to just like becoming as a team. And like this season, you see like a lot of us like gelling a lot when like people go down, I would say. And like for the people that went down, I would say like they've been helped as well, because they're still there, like showing up each and every day when they're hurt, and like being that provider, like that energy that we still need. They're still like talking to us, they're still like being involved. So like I feel like that's helped a lot as well, not just like them just like, because they could like not even be there, like call it a day. But just like them still showing up each and every day, like helping people out to get to the right spot, and like telling them what they did wrong, telling them what they did right. And then also like just Coach Hoiberg, he knows personnel, knows the team he's working with, and like knows the right stuff to run. And then our defense like has really grown because people have really like taken accountability of like taking charges on the defensive end, and like just like guarding your yard, guarding the person in front of you, not letting them score, not letting them get to like the middle or anything.
No letdowns.
Yeah, not at all. So I would just say having like a dog mentality, and like,
that's what's up.
Just enjoying the moment with each other, because like this team may not even play together ever again. So just like enjoying each other's presence
for the moment. Last question. So when I played, being a leader, sometimes it's hard, especially I would say probably it was more difficult for us then to get guys together to be able to work out, because everybody kind of goes and you go back home and you start working out, you get with your old AAU buddies, and you start kind of doing your things individually and not collectively. Do you guys have a plan, like in your go home, go and do that because you need to decompress and do all of that stuff, but then do you guys have a plan, a time frame or anything that's set to be able to come home or come back here, meet together and have some time collectively to really work together in their off season?
Yeah, I mean, one thing we really focused on last year was being more together as a team. And I think that just having those days together, like what Jeff said, like we'll all hang out together, like that's where we really got more of that team mindset. off the court. It started there, and I think we're going to try to do the same thing. I think I did a lot of that with trying to bring the guys together, like have them over to my place, and I want to do the same thing this coming season. And then we play pickup in the off season, learn each other's games, learn how to play with each other, and we really try to have a more structured, open gym, not just guys playing one-on-one ball and just not great basketball. We try to make it as realistic as possible, which is where we can really learn each other's games and just get more familiar playing with each other. And I think that's something that will carry into this next season.
Great stuff. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Sam. We appreciate you guys for coming on and having that discussion. We wish you well. We'll be watching. I do post game, so I definitely have been excited to come in to watch you guys gel and come together and put together this kind of run late that you guys are putting together. So hopefully you'll be able to land these next games one game at a time.
Yep.
And we'll hopefully have you back soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good. Appreciate
This is the old school crew, and but Jay and DP will be returning probably in the next segment. But these young gentlemen root for the Huskers, root for the Lady Huskers as they hit the court as well tonight at 7 p.m. at Pinnacle Bank. And the men Huskers will be hitting the floor on Sunday. So make sure you come and check them out as well. We've got to get out of here for a break. We'll hit you on the next segment right after this. Old School, 93.7 Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
We're going to get a Mon Green set up in here. You know, you go back 15, 20 years ago, video games is a picture of a kid or adult sitting in the basement, you know, lights off by themselves, eating Doritos, drinking Coca-Cola and all out of shape. And it's different now.
Yeah. Y'all working out.
You know, and it's like, you got to work it out now. So I'm adding in practice sessions in the weight room. We're working out.
Get them, man.
You know, we're doing esports camp, just like training camp. We're doing 2 a day where we're on the Xboxes, we're on the PCs, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours at night.
Can you believe all the empty car lots in Lincoln? How can they survive? Well, they are surviving by charging way too much and making you believe there are no cars available. Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto. I'm here to tell you that they are full of bull stuffing. Come out to Price Right in Westo and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. Won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, pricerightauto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on Westo Street at Price Right Auto.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road. A lot of businesses say they're family focused. But when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Winter storm warning will be in effect this afternoon through tomorrow morning, as snow is expected to move in late in the day. We could see accumulations overnight of 5 to 8 inches. Highs today will be around 30, but temperatures will be falling this afternoon. A low tonight expected at 14, a high tomorrow of around 27. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh man, we're gonna come into it with this one. It's so good. I want to thank Jeffrey Grace and Sam Hoiberg for making time. I had to get out of the way for that one because I wanted one of the all-time greats to sit and talk to those two young fellows about the work they're putting in and the results that are shown. Two big wins back to back, and then a big opportunity this weekend.
Right.
Because here come the red hot Terps.
Yeah. A little payback though.
Right? We're going to, I'm mad it's on a Sunday because our buddy Johnny Holiday coming to town.
Right. So what you mad for?
Well, because if it was on a weekend, we could have Johnny on air with us. Like Johnny come in the studio.
Yeah.
And Johnny's one of my favorite people. And again, the folks on this station got to know Johnny Holiday over the course of the pandemic and otherwise. Johnny's a legend. A radio legend, and then he happens to be one of the best play-by-play guys in the country. So, but kudos to them. The news keeps circling, and it's a constant news cycle. Wide receiver Alante Brown and lineman Hunter Anthony no longer on Nebraska's roster. That is the news that is just broke. Jay, how do we have this discussion and be fair? Hunter Anthony, that's not a surprise.
Not really in the sense of, well, here, we'll just start from the get-go. I think, he came in, wasn't necessarily Donnie's recruit. I think another coach recruited him, but he came in, had experience. Came in and played a game where he actually did pretty well, him and Banks, where they came in just whether it's injury or bad play, they got thrown in there and they did well. Showed a little bit of nastiness and stuff, but I think it's not a surprise in the sense of he's an older player. Maybe there's some separation between the guys that are presently on the roster and the guys that they brought into the transfer portal, or potentially with some of the young guys, and also guys that are presently on the roster, that weren't maybe starters, and the reshuffling of it. And, maybe, he's looking for somewhere else that he could, get on the field. I'd never fault a kid that knows he's not going to play to go somewhere and play. I don't fault the kid. I just don't agree with not competing for your spot. So if he wants to go play and they told him, hey, look, man, most likely you're not going to play, I get it. That's actually a good conversation. It's an honest conversation. You have to respect it. I know he's a good kid. He's not like a troublemaker or somebody that you see all the time in the news and stuff. So I'm not surprised there, considering the amount of freshmen that they brought in, portal.
And the type of player they brought in.
And it seems that they will continue to look for linemen in the portal, even going forward.
The report from Charlton Callahan and Husker Online says this. Brown is currently not with the program or in classes. His status removed. His status is unknown. Also follows with this, and this is according to Sean, the door remains open and still for his return. He did not report back to Nebraska this semester for classes in January.
So this has been something that's been there for a while, and they're just catching it late.
And this would have been Hunter Anthony's 6th year in college football. Don't really know what – not sure what it would mean. Don't want to speculate.
Maybe he's just choosing not to play. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not I don't know. They're not around. I mean, I know I can speak for Alante. I think that I know he's a good kid. I know that for a fact. I know he's a tough kid. I know he's somebody that has leadership ability. Mickey Joseph told you that, and he's shown you that. Doesn't get in trouble. I know he's a hard worker. I know he's willing to fight through adversity. Even like when the year I was down there through spring, he was lighting it on fire. Had an unfortunate shoulder injury that kind of stymied his progress. Continue to fight. Continue to work hard every day in practice. Did so again this year with a new position coach, and Mickey Joseph did well. Willing blocker, made some big plays at times during the season. And so those are guys that, when you're trying to build a team, they're hard to, replace or find. But obviously he's trying to maybe take a step back and try to decide his future. I know he's a good student or a willing student. That's what I call a good student, because, I don't come from the thought process that you need to be a academic All-American. And so, two guys I think that are good, but I think this is just part of the process. It's part of college football. It's part of not being successful for years in the past, and you have a new coach coming in with a new idea, and guys got to try. I mean, look, when you bring in that many wide receivers, right, there's going to be attrition, period. If you think that they're going to have 16 scholarship guys and you only can have 85 scholarships, there's no way you would not win a game doing that. So there's going to be guys that have been around for a while that are not going to be here. And unfortunately, with those two, or fortunately or unfortunately,
15 wide receivers currently active on the roster. And look, the numbers don't change much. There's still 102 scholarship athletes listed. You got to get to 85, and it just
hold on. It was 100, 101.
102 is the current number on their websites, and so I'll leave it to them.
Well, then it's 102. My bad.
Like, I'll leave it at that. And but look,
either way,
if it was 100, there's still 15 soldiers walking, and it's going to be an interesting.
That's not that much. I could go through that roster right now and get you 15. I can get you 18.
Jay can get you 20.
We can get to that. We can get to that real quick.
25.
Jay, are you willing to do that, or you want to wait? You tell me. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I got it somewhere in my house. I got to find it. Okay. No, I don't want to do that, man. That'd be cold-blooded.
Okay. Well, we'll throw it to break. Second hour, old school. Who knows? Jay Foreman, he might get feisty during the break.
Nah,
don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker Nation, Amy Williams and Nebraska women's basketball needs you February 18th at 1 p.m. as the Huskers take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. We need your help to sell out Pinnacle Bank Arena for the first time ever. For event and ticket information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Max 10 for men. Bye-bye golfer lines and t-shirt 10s. Take it to the max at Max 10. Get a 30-day pass, just $25. With stand-ups and laydowns for men of stature. Be a Max 10 man. Get 30 days for just $25 now at all 4 Lincoln Max 10 locations.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-540-8966 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
We're going to get a Mon Green set up in here. You know, we go back 15, 20 years ago. Video games is a picture of a kid or adult sitting in the basement, you know, lights off by themselves, eating Doritos, drinking Coca-Cola and all out of shape. And it's different now.
Yeah. Y'all working out.
You know, and it's like, you got to work it out now. So I'm adding in practice sessions in the weight room. We're working out.
Get them a Mon.
You know, we're doing esports camp, just like training camp. We're doing 2 a day where we're on the Xboxes, we're on the PCs, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours at night.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour number 2 of Old School. What day is today? Wednesday? I have lost this week. I have just lost it. And I do know teammates mentoring hour from 6 to 7. Go Big Red Birdie at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It'll be, I believe it's Carter Longy taking us through. So be a long night there, plus some coverage and conversation about the Nebraska women's basketball team as they travel to Minneapolis to take on the Gophers. And with 4 games left, 3 out of 4 is almost mandatory if they're going to think about postseason. At 6-8 in the conference, 14-11. The 3-1 puts them at 500 in the Big Ten and puts them at 17-12, which is cusp, but probably good enough because it's the Big Ten plus some quality of wins. So that's a big one tonight. 7 o'clock tip for the Lady Huskers. 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman text line, Honda Link hotline. If you want to be a part of the conversation, hit us up. Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter live. If you want to know what's going on, Jay Foreman, let them know about the Mercado.
Certified Piedmontese special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut.
102 players on scholarship.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows, man. I think they need to come out and just say who's on scholarship or not, and then you can start Xing them off.
Right? Like it becomes, it's important.
I mean,
right?
at the end of the day, man, I mean, this is college. This is what Nebraska earned. Essentially, when when you don't perform, and whatever the reasons are, wherever the blame goes, it just the job didn't get done prior. It's not it's the head coach is the one that's obviously thought of to have the most blame. I don't necessarily think it's 100% on him. There's circumstances. There's effort circumstances, or stuff that you needed to be done, or maybe like the details that didn't get covered. Maybe some misses, or just and then the structure of how you do things, and it just didn't work out. Injuries and so forth and so on. So when you hire a new coach, you're giving him the power and the support and the wherewithal to do it as he's done it before, or what he feels to do it best. So we just talked about Fred Hoiberg, right, where he earned the respect to say, hey, look, this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna go out and do it and structure it this way. So Matt Rule's coming in. Obviously, he's, everywhere he's been, he's kind of came in and blew the place up and have nothing but the people that he knows and trusts to be in there. And here at Nebraska, which is probably the biggest recruiting, I'd say budget support and wherewithal is I mean, not wherewithal, probably isn't a good word, but the biggest team that he's recruited for, he's able to expand the roster. And that's where you've seen where, in theory, he's probably added anywhere from 28 to 31 of the 39 new guys coming in just in a short term. So with that being said, he's you can't on one hand say this coaching staff has done a good job recruiting and going out and being attentive and being in all the high schools and going out and looking at behind every nook and cranny in trees and always working and finding diamonds in the rough or potential diamonds in the rough and hitting the transfer portal, whether they work or not, but doing, what everybody wanted everybody prior to do, and then turn around and not understand that there's going to be guys that are on the present day roster that won't be here anymore.
Yeah.
They don't have that many scholarships. There's 85 scholarships. So when you got 102, there's still 17 guys that are not going to be there.
Yeah. So
in
reality, even if it's 101, I mean, 16 players are in play. And here's my question to you: if you're in charge of a program and the program is not in good standing, that's why they call Jay Foreman.
Yeah,
right. I need you in there. That means some things went wrong.
Very rarely are you taking over in Alabama.
Right. Sometimes things went wrong. Right. And there ain't much discussion about if you got to take over Alabama.
Yeah, you just sit back and just say, hey, man, just what don't I do not to mess up? Don't
the
pull
wheels
up Barry
on
Switzer.
the bus go round.
Don't be like Barry Switzer.
We need to throw the ball all of a sudden.
Right.
No, we're gonna do what we do.
Yes,
but how do you, as a coach, again with downtime in the season, so from end of season and then your hiring of the job, between now and when you finally get to see them on the field, because that hasn't been what's going on. You don't get to train them, coach them, develop them.
Yeah.
So how do you make the decision reasonably between players who currently on the roster and players that you want to bring in to add to the roster? How do you decide? Is that just simply that, this guy looks better on tape than this guy, I trust this guy more than another, this guy was in the system that I run and this guy wasn't? How would Coach Jay Foreman make that decision in February?
It's a lot of factors. I mean, ideally, try to do my due diligence and realistically meet and get to know all the players. That's part of the job. And because you just never know who's on that roster. I mean, it's no different. Okay, here's a perfect example. Okay, Bill Callahan recruited Ndamukong Suh. I've known under Bill Callahan when they were here, Ndamukong Suh wasn't playing up to his 5-star potential when coming out of high school, right? If Bo Pelini had came in and just blew up the whole, just pretty much ran everybody off, the number 2 pick in the draft is there. Prince is there. Eric Haig is there. All those guys are on that roster. All those guys, Dominican's still playing. So that's why I'm a big proponent of seeing it. And sometimes it could be numbers. It could be, I got these guys out of the portal. Those new guys ain't going nowhere. Unless they just come in and just,
I don't like Lincoln.
I don't like Lincoln or so bad. And they doing a turnaround down and around where it's like, you're flying on a flight, land at 12, catch 1, 2 to go back home.
Go right back home.
That's not happening. So those 39 are accounted for. And then some of the guys that have played before. And so it could be numbers, circumstances. You don't fit into their scheme, and it has nothing to do with you. It might be body types, which we've seen the previous staff talk about,
right.
body types. They're straight up body
I
types.
want them tall and long. I want them tall and
right,
long.
But yes, we can talk about it now. But if that's what they view or want to be successful, then you got to support it. Or then you got to give them the support to make those decisions. So, some of it could be a lot of other things, and it's not that both those kids are not bad kids. It just could be caught up in the numbers game. You see it all the time,
right? But so then
it sucks, right? It does. It does really suck. But at the end of the day, in Alante's case, I know Anthony's got 1 year, but Alante, he's got a lot of football left in him. He might be able to land in a spot where he'll get a ton of opportunity and be successful.
I think everywhere he goes, he checks every box.
He checks all the boxes, and so that's probably one that hurts because he has leadership ability and he could help galvanize a room with your message because he's a team player.
Which I would have thought was required here.
Yeah, and but look, the fact that we're only going off what been reported. He didn't come back in January, so that's a choice not to come back in January. And we don't know if that those conversations were had prior to January with either the wide receiver coach, offensive coordinator, head coach, or combination, or he saw the writing on the wall. There's 16 guys in the room. That's a lot of scholarship guys in the room. Really, to be honest, if there's 16 linebackers in there, and really be honest, here's a personal example. There was over 20-something, I think, linebackers getting drafted when I was when we were at the combine. Besides like Javon Curse and all the guys that like Mike Peterson that kind of went a little bit higher, you couldn't really tell between all of you. It's a crapshoot. Joey Porter is a borderline Hall of Famer. He went late 3rd round. Jay Foreman, who played 9 years, went late 5th round. There was guys that were drafted, to a guy to the Eagles, a guy to the Cleveland Browns. They went 2nd round and so forth and so on, and couldn't play dead. So when there's a lot of guys, there's not a lot of reps there. It's just not. It's a number. It's hard to, and you're not even counting the walk-on guys that already been there before. There's just not a lot of reps there for you to prove yourself. So maybe that the writing was on the wall, or you viewed the writing was on the wall. I would have been a big proponent to come back and see. It's just, I guess the way I read it, he's not in school, which I think is probably the most important thing. So I guess he's maybe trying to find out what he's going to do. I have no idea. That's what he's doing.
And not being in school changes the academic eligibility. So that's in play. So and we don't know, did he leave in good standing? If he leaves in good standing, he'll read in good standing.
I imagine he did, but I would have advised to come back, be in school, figure it out there, even if you're not with the team.
Yeah, just to be around.
Because you're not anywhere else. You didn't hit the portal and after Thanksgiving, hit the portal at some point in time, and then school started back January 15th or something like that.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, and you're named in. You didn't, hear you're in the portal, and then I'm going to Illinois State or.
And that's usually a time when that happens because if you're at home and then you're going to go to a space
did you forget to go back?
Yeah, it's tough. I'll ask you this because in talking about the NFL, people talk about the NFL has become a pass first league, but we understand the value of a running game, but it is a pass first league.
Yeah.
Is the Big Ten a pass first or run first league?
And overall?
Yeah.
No, it's run.
Right.
I mean, you got a few outliers. Now, I think it's changing, though. I don't know what Purdue's going to do, but it seems like Wisconsin's going to pass a little bit more. It seems like Iowa, with actually a legitimate, proven quarterback, is going to be able to pass it a little bit more. They hit the portal pretty, decent, and first of all, they got two legit tight ends, so that's going to open up their passing game. Not the vertical, but they're going to be a problem on offense. If you think that them two tight ends ain't going to be able to put in work, you better get ready, because I could tell you this: Eric All, if he's healthy, he's a top 3-round draft choice. Lachey, who is healthy, is a top 2-round draft choice. So you got two NFL tight ends right there. You got to expect that the offensive line is going to be better. Therefore, you got a quarterback that can game manage and win some games. And you're just going to assume they're going to get a running back out of Chicago or wherever they get, and he's going to be able to rush for a G. And you're going to assume that the defense is going to be it. So they essentially push reset. We think we have it cornered. But they're going to be a little bit more explosive in the pass game. I think Minnesota is going to be more explosive in the pass game with their quarterback. And they're going to be more explosive in the pass game because of their ability to run the ball with the conventional run, along with the quarterback doing different things that PJ Fleck would like to do earlier with this quarterback here.
You're getting directly in the lane in which I was curious, because twofold. One, the second part of that question would be, doesn't that mean that Nebraska, in order to catch up or to play at the level that it should, needs to be run first? And does it seem that they're doing that?
Nebraska's got to improve on the offense and defense line before they even think about doing anything else. Period. And the easiest way to really lessen, I guess, the gap is to be physical and to be fit. And here's why
Whatever you're doing.
At whatever you're doing. And here's a way that he can be. Here's what people don't understand about being physical. I can't speak for Satterfield and Matt Rule and all those guys and McGuire. I can't speak for them. But the way that you can be physical if your offensive line isn't up to your standard is a la, in quotations, I'm not even going to say who I was going to say, but you can be physical out on the edges.
Well, so wide receiver screens where you allow those big dudes to come down there and pound on linebackers and corners.
Well, it's not only that. It's not that, because if you have wide receiver screens and your lineman can get out there, then you should be actually running the ball straight.
Right.
So if you can't run the ball straight, so then you throw it on the edge. You have a multitude of different bodies at wide receiver, tight end position, kind of H-back, dual threat guys that can be physical out on the edges with stalk blocking. You can X block. You can crack on safeties and linebackers. You saw it in the Super Bowl, right, on when they ran essentially the outside sweep, the old Green Bay sweep, where you saw 45 cut the end. Both the linemen got out there, but then they had a really good stalk block or a crackback block. That's how you can become physical out there. But sooner or later, you have got to be able to knuckle up and play, big boy football in the Big Ten. You have to do it in the SEC. You have to do it in the ACC, and at times you have to do it in the Big 12. So you have to be able to be physical. Now there's teams that are going to add more explosive passing elements. Illinois will this year as well. Watch. They'll be more explosive. They have to. They don't have Brown anymore. So then you got to think, we don't know what Purdue's going to do, but Purdue's always been that team. The thing that what Maryland's going to do now, what they're trying to do, they already know they can pass the ball. They actually have a really good running back.
He's young, but he's good.
So that lets you know that their offensive line is improving. Where does Maryland need to get up to snuff? Defensive line. So they are getting it. They are ahead of us. So there's ways to do it. Penn State, you know what where they're at. So you have to be able to be explosive passes or be able to throw the ball, but this is an air raid. So however you get to trying to be physical, you can do it in the short term out on the edges. But when it comes down to it, when it gets about a week or two before Halloween, middle of October, okay, the 9-on-7 drills better be hell, boy.
Well, I mean, that's so big. Web Blanket says this, and I want to be clear. He says, DP, here's where Marcus Satterfield teams ranked in the conferences in which he coached in over the last 4 years as an OC. 2013, he was 3rd out of 10. 2014, he was 9th out of 11, 8th out of 12, 12th out of 14. And then he goes on to say that Nebraska will not be a run-first offense with this staff. I'm pointing out that if you're going to, and I'm not disagreeing with you, I'm literally saying Nebraska fans need to pay attention to the numbers and what's in play. Because when I asked Jay if the Big Ten Conference is a run-first conference, can Nebraska compete in a run-first conference if they are not run-first? That's what I'm asking. I'm literally asking the question because do we really believe that Nebraska can come in with new receivers and a new coordinator and a new quarterbacks coach and a new receivers coach and move up to the top third of the Big Ten Conference and throwing the football around?
Well, I think, like I said, you can do it a different way. I mean, it's no different than the 49ers when they were, throwing the ball. That was part of their passing game.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be physical out on the edges. The 49ers were always physical, period. But that's the way they were able to, get guys and get advantages. So I think Nebraska. I mean, I think that if you get, obviously the rankings aren't there. I'm assuming, right? I'm just assuming when Trev hired Matt Rule hired Satterfield, the conversations were had. Nobody's oblivious to what the Big Ten is. Okay. The Big Ten isn't the one when I grew up where it was like Ron Dane, 3 yards of clouds of dust and all those guys. And it would be like, pass the ball 10 times. We're not saying that. But the Big Ten is extremely physical up front. They're big guys that can move. It's big defenders that can move. You're not going to outspeed anybody. You're not going to necessarily trick anybody and have a heyday where you have a secret playbook that nobody's ever seen. They're extremely well coached. They're veteran coaches. They're actually in the forefront of innovation. Ohio State is able to be a somewhat pass first, but they have 2 NFL running backs and a ton of NFL offensive linemen. They can be physical. I think they've learned their lesson, right? Where they tried to be too cute and try to win from outside in. And then guess what? Michigan said, we're going to do the exact opposite. So I'm assuming when these conversations were had, when these guys were hired, that they understood the landscape of Big Ten football. Because if that was not happening, then it's going to take a couple years to understand. I know this, or assume this. Matt Rule knows. He's been around long enough. He knows everybody. I'm sure he's watched a ton of tape.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen how you got to play. Marcus Satterfield as well. I will say this. I don't know who called plays down in South Carolina. All I know is he was the offensive coordinator, right? So I'm assuming he called plays, just like I know Eric Bieniemy called plays.
Mm-hmm.
When they really took off, he got a good rhythm on what Spencer Rattler could do. They weren't
especially later in the year.
That's what I'm saying. Later in the year when they got on that heater, I think he really got in. He really caught a rhythm in what worked, what did, and that's what happens when you get a guy out of transfer portal, right? It is. You can go through spring practice, and then it's a total different atmosphere for Spencer Rattler coming into South Carolina without Oklahoma weapons. But guess what? They got some dudes on the outside, and that's where they got extremely physical. And then I always talk about 44 that having if Marcus Satterfield ever comes on, we can ask him about him. How I feel from a defensive standpoint, he was as important as a quarterback and receivers in the offense. He could set the edge, he could catch in a short area, but he was a guy that was almost like an extra offensive lineman, and he was extremely athletic. He was a problem for defenders because of what he's able to erase a lot of.
He wrecked schemes,
but he was able to erase any kind of leakage there and gave the quarterback and Satterfield, opportunities to call plays that could work. So they were extremely physical outside. That's how you can be physical. Then what that do? It allows them to close out games to line up and bust guys up because they had some big old boys up front. They softened the defense a different way. So you could take that approach, but you got to make sure you have the guys out there that can do it. Now, Nebraska, when you have 16 guys or 15 guys in there, you'd like to think I can get 5 guys that can replicate what I did. You'd like to think I can. I can get 33%. What is that? 5 out of 15?
But
is that 1 out of 3?
But that's
is that right?
if you went and got all massive wide receivers instead of you went and got all track guys.
But you
went and got all track dudes.
Yeah, that's true.
Just tell me you're going to run the ball in the Big Ten Conference. You got track dudes.
Hold on, but it's different though, because if you have tight ends, right, that are a problem. So if you think like, okay, Gilbert's going to handle his business. Fedoni, you can even say Carney, and what's my man from Creighton Prep?
Rollins.
Okay. The last two aren't like big as the first two,
but
plenty
enough.
But plenty enough, and they have something that a lot of people don't have: height, which gives you leverage, so you don't need to be as bulky. So you get them out on the edge. That's where you can get physical, and then that's where the track guys can go.
Yeah, and to be clear, I asked the question on both sides because I don't know. If you tell me you're going to be run first, then I have to ask the next question, which is what receivers do you have are going to implement that? And if you're going to be pass first, will it work in the Big Ten Conference with the personnel that you have? So I don't have the answer. I'm asking the question to get to it and to be clear in it. I'm still not sure what it is.
We're about to see.
Well, there's still 60 days. We got plenty of time. And as we now know, there'll be at least 16 changes in personnel in the meanwhile.
Hey, man, you know what, to be honest, but listen here. It's going to be below, I'd assume it's going to be below 85. It's going to be below, it's going to be below 85.
80.
And then they don't think that there's going to be guys in the transfer portal after spring.
Yeah, 80.
There's going to be guys in the transfer portal after spring, not just here, but just everywhere else. You're going to have to be combing that. You're going to be combing the streets in. And then doesn't JUCO kind of have like their graduation? Yeah. You can sign a JUCO guy late, right? Is that am I correct there? Like JUCO guys,
especially
because JUCO guys would actually be in school. Because JUCO guys have to graduate.
Well, some of that is to elevate GPA so they
right,
be
so
eligible.
They can be eligible. That's what I'm saying.
And
so
then
those guys
changing bodies and all the other stuff that goes with it.
You're not planning on being on the team, but you got to finish this semester at JUCO, and then you can sign somewhere
to be in good standing.
So you can
come December, so that you can come.
Yeah, so you
come
can
March,
fall.
So you could be about. But this is why we have the conversation, because the conversation is going to change week by week, sometimes day by day, as this roster is formed and reformed, because it will be. Just know that it's the conversation will be fluid. We'll jump back to it, talk a little bit more hoops. When we come back, talk a little XFL. We got football on Saturday, Jay. Football on Saturday and Sunday.
What the heck is going on?
Yeah, that football hangover may not be so bad if we get connected to it early enough.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same products you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and Andermatt. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Can you believe all the empty car lots in Lincoln? How can they survive? Well, they are surviving by charging way too much and making you believe there are no cars available. Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto. I'm here to tell you that they are full of bull stuffing. Come out to Price Right in West O and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our Peace of Mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We like the girls with the pumps in a butt. Pumps in a butt. Pumps in a butt. We like the girls with the pumps in a butt. Pumps in a butt. Pumps in a butt. We like the girls with the pumps in a butt. Pumps in a butt. Pumps in a butt.
There it is.
Like I said, if it was 12 midnight in the club and this came on in a dance contest, just go ahead and leave the dance floor. It was my money and drinks was on me. Jay, it was the one that was like, oh man.
They're just waiting around for it. Just hit it so we can get some drinks.
Like, it's like, wait a minute. Like all my dudes is like, because I got all the votes, right? And it was like, okay, here we go.
I hear you.
Here we go. You know, tell your girl I'm sorry.
You the dancing machine, huh?
Look, man, I lived my life back then. I had to stop when I had my own club because then it wasn't fair for me to win my own dancing. But then it was like the challenge. So whoever won our dance contest would like, okay, DP, let's get it. And then we end up just doing something together. And then there was no battle. And, you know, we were doing our thing. So just programming update. We're trying to effort. Okay. So we're trying to effort. Tonight we have Westwood 1 basketball at 7:45, not 8:45. It's 7:45. So we'll do teammates from 6 to 7. Harrison will take us from 7 until 7:45, and then Westwood 1 live basketball tonight at 7:45 and take you through the night. So, and in case you hadn't figured it out, we have full Westwood 1 broadcast throughout the March Madness and the tournament. Other than our time down at Buffalo Wings and Rings, we got the tournament.
So we won't be on then.
We'll be on.
How though?
We're taking all the games that when we aren't live.
Oh, I got you.
And plus, you know, the whole weekend. So Saturday, Sunday,
yeah.
We'll move some stuff around as well. So, you know, you'll be able to, you know, stretch out and catch some hoops. Plus 48 games, 48 state tournament games, all from PBA, all here live on 93.7 The Ticket. 9 a.m. to final horn.
Man, it's getting down to crunch time, baby. It is.
It's
do or die Brooklyn, New York, man.
Right?
I'm telling you, man. Some of these little dudes, you doing all that woofing in the off season and all them Instagram posts. We here. You know, you don't want. I'm Mr. Go 30. I seen all you guys play for years on end.
You know the truth now.
Hey, I done seen all you guys play for years on end. Talking about you. You a soldier. You grinding.
I've been waiting for this.
Hey, man.
I'm built for this.
You built for this and all that. We about to see. And I think sometimes, the difference is I think sometimes the really good players and the really good teams can differentiate playing summer basketball versus playing high school. Because summer basketball has turned into, which is the weirdest thing, is turned into one-on-one. Let me showcase your skills.
Uh-huh.
But none of the colleges go to watch your skills. They know who you are skill-wise when you get there. They want to know if you can play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really want to impress a college coach and really stand out, play a complete game in the summer.
Or defend.
Well, that is
defend.
That is a complete game because you want to know why you stand out. Everybody knows that you can shoot. You're not going to go 5 for 5 from 3 and then all of a sudden anointed the next Steph Curry.
Take that star player across from you and take something away from him, because that's what the elite level coach is looking for. Is, are you going to be a plus minus guy or not?
Can you do something? You're not going to be a scorer.
Right? Nobody, like, there are very few.
You got to know how to play the game.
There were 2 players that have come out of this area in the last 3 years, who were ball first. You're going to go to a Power 5 school and the ball be in your hand. And Chucky's at the top of that as a point guard at Wisconsin. He got it early as a sophomore.
He got it right now. He's a sophomore.
Right. He got it as a sophomore.
But that's by attrition, though.
Right. That it's rare. And how good was he here?
Ideally, you would like him to be the second guy because he's such a good table setter. But right now, he has to be the table setter. He's got to be the master defender, and he's got to be their scorer. That's a lot to put on. It just doesn't happen.
If you can show, and what got Chucky moved up the notch was that he was an aggressive defender.
He was the best on the ball defender,
right?
Out of the top 100 players in the nation.
His offense was a bonus. It was a bonus. Now he happened to find a way to knock down shots,
and his basketball acumen and all that stuff, and his willingness to go and challenge people is somebody that you can build your program about. But right now we're getting and right now, this is conference tournament time. This is March Madness time.
Who are you? Give folks your 5 players to watch. High school boys that they watch
in Nebraska,
yeah, or in the area, like ones that come to
first. Dossler up in Bellevue West is
Dossler,
he's that dude, and he's been that dude,
and he's grown into it because
that's a perfect example. He was more of a defender,
kind of a
rebounder, and get his shots or points based off of putbacks and transition.
He was a stat box filler. Like he would go through and do all the grunge work.
5 and 5.
Yep, he was the grunge guy,
freshman and sophomore. But
the ball was in his hand as a freshman in the biggest possession of the year.
Yeah, but he was smart with it, and but he was able to learn under Chucky and see where Chucky did well. But one thing he does is defend. He defends. That's how he got on the court. Now look, he's 6'3" and he has tremendous quickness. Got great family, lineage. That's why he's good, and plus he loves the game of basketball. And he's been coached and taught the right way, and he plays it the right way. He plays hard, he's tough, he's smart. Now you're seeing him where he's a very smooth offensive player. But it also takes the development year round of he's a basketball kid. There's a lot of coaches that would see him as a freshman and sophomore like, oh, he's not a finished product. I don't know how good he'd be. You got to see the potential in him. So him, Lincoln has a lot of really good players. You got obviously Chuck Love. You got on that team, you got Chuck Love, Frager. You got their point guard who's number 10. I hate that I don't know him. He's a good player. I mean, they got him, and then Lincoln High has about 4 or 5 guys that are good. Last name Garrett, who's a kind of like an in-between guard. He's real smooth. Justin, I think it's Boylis, who's a big guy. They got him, and then Southeast has, they got Tay Moore. They got Jake Hickelman. They got BD. They got Voss. All those guys are going to go somewhere and play. East has Carter Mick, Temple Meyer. I don't know the young man's name, number 10, but he's smooth too. He's been playing up in varsity since he's like a sophomore, and they're well coached and they're tough. And then you got Pius. They got Trace Anderson. and they're going to be good next year because all those guys are very young.
Yeah.
And so
you noticed that in the tournament last year that they ran some young folks out there, and
right.
they paid for it last year.
Last year, when they made it, they were senior laden. Now you're seeing the emergence of Trace Anderson, who's a junior, along with the young guys that come with them. They got a young man out of Kearney that's like Larry Bird out there. I think he came into Lincoln last week and busted somebody's head open to like 32 to 35 points and 14 boards.
Hello. Okay.
There's plenty of good players.
And then on the girls' side, yeah, you're right. Ryland Smith.
Ryland Smith. Ryland Smith. I wish I could have gotten in touch with him or know him, because if you think about Ryland Smith, now look, I've never seen him play football, but if my man played safety or corner, he would be playing at Power 5. He has the perfect build for it. When you watch him play, he's physical and he's explosive when he has the ball going from point A or wherever he wants to go. And the fact that he hits big time shots lets me know he's a big time player.
Yeah, he was my knowledge of it were all the guys who were in the tournament last year, again, because you're just digesting
player after player,
play, and the tendencies show up in all that space. The best player in the state on the girls' side was the best player in the state last year.
Yeah.
And her recruiting process has been fantastic to watch. But they're players right here in Lincoln. I mean, you've got a coach's daughter, you've got a multi-sport athlete, you've got another coaching legend who's a legend here, who's doing the worst. So
there's a lot of good. It's competitive. I mean, Northeast is good. Lincoln Northeast is good. Lincoln High is good. Lincoln East is always legit. And obviously, you got the teams up in Omaha that are really good too. Whether you got the Miller Norths and Bellevues, and obviously the Elkhorn team. And then there's always going to be a team that you never really thought of because maybe they're a little bit out west or just kind of been under the radar. And then you think about Class B, Wahoo is for real. If you ever got to watch them, Crete's good.
You watch the Beatrice team.
Beatrice is good. York is good.
Norris is
young.
Yep.
You got three guys that are freshmen that are playing big time minutes. You got Bernard Gardner's son, Junior Gardner, that is smooth as ice cream, and he's starting on varsity, and he's had a couple 20-point games, and so it's a good run. Now, is it going to be the historic run of when Hunter Salas and all those guys and those type of teams? No, but those teams were fostered from the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and
Anaya Jones. Anaya Jones. Yeah, she's
probably
gritty.
In 4 or 5 years, you'll be hearing about her more than anybody else.
Just gritty.
She's a walking bucket.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
The
moment was never too big. Like, I watched her.
And everybody's gunning for her, and she's still just destroying people.
Yeah. And then Texas says Scott is the top team in B. Wahoo is Class C.
Yeah. I do stand corrected.
I did. And the thing was, what I loved about last year, I mean, I had heard about Jacobson, and then to finally see him over the course of 3 games, and I went, yeah. Like,
unfortunately got hurt. So there's some good players. I think the difference, people always ask me what the difference is in Lincoln sports and Omaha sports. I just think it's just that Omaha sports are just more. Omaha sports and the smaller towns are more competitive.
How do you fix that? How do you blend?
You have to up the ante. You can't have your head in the sand and think you know everything. You have guys here's where the smaller towns have an advantage, right? So just say Norris. They don't have, Northwest. They don't have Northeast. Right. So you got North. So all those kids grow up playing together. They play every single sport.
Waverly.
Yeah, they all play those same sports together. They develop together. The high school coaches know that you're not going to get you're not going to get a kid to transfer from North Omaha to North. It's not going to happen unless his family moves there or something, right. It's not there.
Accident.
But it's not going to happen. So you're not going to. So in some ways, they know that they can't recruit by where they are. But then reality is they say, okay, now we got to develop these players. We got to develop these players from a young age. And then you got to get heavily involved. That's how they have an advantage. So when you see Kearney always beating teams in football, because the boys, they know what it's like. They know what they need to compete. Grand Island back in the day when they had Ben Butenbach in there, when they played at Hastings and they beat some teams. That's where they have the advantage. Where they have the disadvantage is Lincoln has too many good athletes walking around that you should be even losing in those teams, and there's no disrespect to them. Now, where Omaha is taking a little bit of that, and I know this from playing, Austin, when we would play Bellevue West teams or Miller North teams or Miller West teams, Miller South teams, and then if you watch their varsity, you're watching the same exact thing.
That's what I begrudgingly have to admit Wahoo does as good as anyone I've seen in the state, is that from the time these kids pick up a basketball, it's number one, basketball town.
Yep.
Huge basketball town. It's been their thing forever.
Forever. Even back when I was in college with my man Travis Big Booty Toline. My man had a power booster back there. I used to mess with him, man. Like, did you do squats since you were 6?
Yeah, in the crib.
Yeah, in the crib.
In the crib doing squats.
Austin, go ahead, Austin. Yeah.
But from day one, I mean, those kids are playing basketball. They're playing basketball together, and they're in that system. They've been doing the same thing forever. They're playing 1-3-1 from the time they set foot on the basketball court. They're running the same sets from age 5 all the way through. That's a program town.
Easiest way to change your program.
And I know we only got 1 minute, but when Coach Grant, Mike Grant, who's Bud Grant's son, somewhat recruited me to come back to Eden Prairie, that's how he built up Forest Lake into a power in Minnesota, and that's why Eden Prairie is one of the top 25 teams every year in football. Every single year, because those kids are still running. When I watch J.D. Spillman, they're still running black, orange, and gray. Now they're doing some shotgun and stuff like that, but I'm seeing the same plays.
Line it up, run your stuff. It's good enough for you not to be able to stop it.
Yeah,
like that's just how it works. So throw the break. We'll close out Old School. Set you up for Teammates Mentoring Hour and a night full of basketball, courtesy of the folks from Westwood One Radio. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of February. get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same product you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and Andermatt. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The winter storm warning will be in effect this afternoon through tomorrow morning. As snow is expected to move in late in the day, we could see accumulations overnight of 5 to 8 inches. Highs today will be around 30, but temperatures will be falling this afternoon. A low tonight expected of 14, a high tomorrow of around 27. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment before we hand it over to Jim Bennett, Harrison Orange, and the Teammates Mentoring Hour from 6 to 7 tonight. And then Harrison Orange will take you up until tip-off. We've got a tilt. Arkansas 17-8 down in College Station to take on the Aggies, who come in at 18-7. That'll be brought to you on the Westwood One Network. Good stuff across the board. So, Jay, there were a couple of things to get us set with. One, final things to be said about last night and the Huskers getting a win at Rutgers.
I mean, I think it was, obviously a big win for the program, big win for the players. I think it stemmed from how they played, have been playing, and then how they played that second half and through overtime. And some of the, look, we called on the big three to kind of step up, and they more than stepped up. And then CJ stepped up. I'm happy for him. Sam has been playing excellent. I'm happy. I'm more than happy for him because of the pressure of him being Fred's son and continue. It's a big risk for him because then people will look at him. First of all, I've seen them two play, or seen Sam play in high school. Immediately, I knew he could play Division I. Just because I've seen how he operated and how he played. So I knew he could play at this level. Now, did he need to get bigger and work and some stuff? Sure. But I knew that he would do it because
he came in all swole. I was like, bro.
I knew he would do it because he loves the game.
Yeah.
He'd be playing. And so the dynamics that he's had to fight through, both on the team, thinking, okay, this is the coach's son. He just goes in there and works it. And he's gained everybody respect. He's got an opportunity, and he's excelled in it. and everybody else played. I think Bradenbach is like telling you from that Creighton game, he's slowly but surely. I think he's starting to get his legs back, man. After his knee injury,
Blaze Cater,
right, having a big game last game, didn't get to do much this game, but that's what the next game. I'll guarantee you he's going to be a factor. But then you got D Walker, that's freed him up, and then everybody else, and then obviously you got Jamarcus Lawrence, right?
Nobody projected Jamarcus Lawrence
to take off like that. But I'm telling you, the one thing I liked about him, where he was upset with himself, where he had some free throw trouble, I think at Penn State, and from then on, you could tell he's been extremely focused. And then I think they've the thing that Fred has done in the offseason, along with Nate and all the other coaches, give the whole staff their kudos right now, that they have adopted a new identity, learned from their mistakes, didn't continue. They didn't say, look, man, we just got to just keep doing what we're doing. We're going to get better. They said, you know what? We need to do about face. We see what works. We're going to do it. Not let's just try it. This is why we're going to try it. We're going to recruit to it. We're going to practice to it. We're going to hold them accountable to it. And you're seeing it. And then you see a team that's able to battle through adversity and not blink. I mean, to go out there and
on
win
the road at Rutgers.
And when Rutgers is desperate. They needed that victory. Nobody's expecting Nebraska to win. If you looked on Twitter, everybody's like, "Oh, Rutgers is up for a bad loss." No, Nebraska's up in there just busting that head open to the white meat.
Really, like I got mad at Big Ten Network after the game.
Hey man, when them Hellcat Huskers came on you, boy, they put that bad boy in overdrive on you. Said we out, we hollering at.
They need to steal what Harvell and Bolt and the baseball team said last year: win gritty, not pretty. And they've accepted that and taken it. Look, I know the baseball team's still going to work with that, but my goodness gracious, to go to Rutgers and that crowd and tell all of them, shut up, sit down and watch this W. And tomorrow, I really want to get you to break down K-State's future as a pro. What does it look like?
What
does it look like?
He's going to play professional somewhere.
Well, he can go home for $1.5 million now.
Then you better go home. We better take me with him, though.
I
could be power forward in that league.
Jay out there being center. Yeah, right? He playing post up.
Yeah, post up,
doing
man.
his Andre Drummond impression.
Right. Get it all in. I think it's fantastic.
Dwight Howard over there, he can't shoot a lick. I know I could do it.
Still getting that money.
But K-State's helping himself. I think that this. I mean, but let's not do the football thing and start annoying guys. But he's having a great year. But I'm gonna tell you, I said it earlier.
4 straight 20-point games in the Big Ten.
But I said this earlier. But still, let's not annoy him now. I mean, let's keep everything in perspective but still give him his respect and props. I said it earlier in the season when I saw him in the early games. I knew he added 2 or 3 things to his game, so I knew he was going to be better offensively than he was last year. Yeah. Defensively, I think he's got room to grow, but he's better than last year. He's not such a detriment and kind of gets people out of position. But again, that's coaching, and it's also the willingness of him. Well, first of all, willingness.
In a second language situation,
add to my game to survive in the Big Ten, understand who I am, but I need to do some other things to get to what I do well. And then also understanding and saying, I need to get better defensively. Is he perfect? No. Is anybody on the team perfect? No. But what he does is he's gotten better at it, and he tries on defense. And you see improvement. So you got to give him his props, man.
And he wearing people out on offense, running through them picks.
Man,
3 picks at a time.
But the best thing about him, though, he's getting his miles in. But the thing that he does, but let me tell you something. The thing that he does that nobody else understands and watches, that he changes speed, how he comes off the picks.
Yes, sir.
That's how he's able to create separation.
Yes, sir.
Lull you to sleep. Then, boop, there go that 3.
3 in my veins.
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man.
There goes
that man, Kate. And then he's a hype man, too. I like it. He get a crowd pleaser, man.
He's his own hype man.
Hey, he's Maximus Decimators or whatever from once you win the crowd, right? What did they say? What he told him? Hey, that's what you need to do on Twitter. You know how they impose people's heads on there? Fred needs to be the old guy, and then put K-State's head on Russell Crowe.
And then after he hits a 3.
No. He says, you want your freedom? Win the crowd. Crowd. Then K-State, are you not entertained?
Jay Foreman is on it, man.
Hellcat Huskers.
There it is, man.
Have you ever been in a Hellcat and they punch that gas?
Oh, so good.
Hey,
so good.
Hey.
It's on a shirt. It'll be on a shirt.
Skate on them, K-State.
It'll be on a shirt.
K-State trying to skate on them, ain't he?
There it is. Teammates Mentoring Hour. Up next here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter